The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy. Chapter 11. 2 more weeks passed this way. During those weeks, the event Ivan Ilyich and his wife had been hoping for finally happened. Patriciev made a formal proposal. It happened in the evening. The next day, Praskovia Fyodorovna went into her husband, thinking over how to tell him about Fyodor Petrovich's proposal. But that very night, Ivan Ilyich had taken a new turn for the worse. She found him on the same sofa, but in a new position. He lay flat on his back, groaning, staring straight ahead with fixed eyes. She started talking about his medicines. He turned his gaze on her. She never finished the sentence. The look was so full of fury, and the fury was aimed at her in particular. "For Christ's sake, let me die in peace," he said. She was about to leave, but just then their daughter came in and went up to greet him. He looked at his daughter the same way he had looked at his wife, and when she asked about his health, he told her dryly that he would soon free them all of himself. Both women fell silent, sat a while, and went out. "How is any of this our fault?" Liza said to her mother. "As if we did it to him. I'm sorry for Papa, but why torture us?" The doctor came at his usual hour. Ivan Ilyich answered him with yes and no, never taking his furious eyes off him, and at the end he said, "You know nothing is going to help, so let me be." "We can ease the suffering," said the doctor. "You can't even do that. Let me be." The doctor went out to the drawing room and told Praskovia Fyodorovna that things were very bad, and that only one remedy was left, opium, to ease the suffering, which must be terrible. The doctor said his physical suffering was terrible, and that was true. But worse than the physical suffering was his moral suffering, and that was his greatest torment. His moral suffering came from this. That night, looking at Gerasim's sleepy, good-natured face with its broad cheekbones, the thought had suddenly struck him, what if my whole life, my conscious life, really has been wrong, all of it? It struck him that what had once seemed a complete impossibility, that he had not lived his life as he should have, might be the truth. It struck him that those faint urges he had once felt to fight back against what the people at the very top considered good, faint urges he had always pushed away at once, might have been the real thing, and everything else might be false. His work, the way he had arranged his life, his family, all the interests of society and career, all of it might be wrong. He tried to defend it all to himself, and suddenly he felt how weak the whole defense was. There was nothing to defend. And if that's true, he said to himself, if I'm leaving this life knowing I ruined everything I was given, and there's no way to put it right. He lay on his back and began going over his whole life in a completely new way. In the morning, when he saw the footman, then his wife, then his daughter, then the doctor, every move they made, every word they said, confirmed the terrible truth that had been revealed to him in the night. In them he saw himself, saw everything he had lived by, and saw clearly that it was all wrong, all one vast horrible lie that hid both life and death. This knowledge increased his physical suffering, multiplied it tenfold. He groaned, tossed, tugged at the clothes he was wearing. They felt as if they were strangling him, crushing him, and for that, he hated them all. They gave him a large dose of opium, and he sank into oblivion, but by midday it all began again. He drove everyone from the room and tossed from side to side. His wife came to him and said, "Jean, darling, do this for me." "For me? It can't do any harm, and it often helps. Really, it's such a small thing. Even healthy people often." He opened his eyes wide. "What? Take communion? What for? No need. Although," she began to cry. "Yes, my dear? I'll send for our own priest. He's such a kind man." "Fine, very well," he said. When the priest came and heard his confession, Ivan Ilyich softened. He felt something like relief from his doubts, and with them from his suffering, and a moment of hope came over him. He began thinking again about his appendix, and the chance that it might still be put right. He took communion with tears in his eyes. When they laid him down again after communion, he felt easier for a moment, and hope for life returned. He began to think about the operation the doctors had offered him. "Live, I want to live," he said to himself. His wife came in to congratulate him. She said the usual words, and then added, "You do feel better, don't you?" Without looking at her, he said yes. Her dress, her figure, the expression on her face, the sound of her voice, it all said one thing to him: wrong. Everything you have lived by, everything you live by now, is a lie, a fraud that hides life and death from you. And the moment he thought it, hatred rose in him, and with the hatred came the agonizing physical pain, and with the pain the certainty of destruction, unavoidable and close at hand. Something new had started, a twisting deep inside, a shooting pain, a pressure that squeezed off his breath. The look on his face when he said that yes was terrible. Having said it, looking her straight in the face, he turned over onto his front with a speed astonishing in a man so weak, and shouted, get out, leave me alone."